Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Switch Addiction. Today I thought we could talk about the Nintendo Switch and remember the launch and my initial thoughts and feelings of it and kind of my journey from when I first got it to all the way to now. Real quick, thank you to all my 147 subscribers. If you guys are not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It'd really mean a lot and help us grow the channel. So this is Nintendo Switch 2 launch week. Unfortunately, I'm going to be out of town, so that's why I'm making this video so I can post it while I'm out of town. I will be getting it right when I get back, and I'll be doing impressions, unboxings, and all that good stuff. So I remember distinctly when the Switch 1 got revealed. I was in my car. I was driving to work or getting lunch or something, and it came across my phone. I got the notification that Nintendo had posted a reveal for their newest console, and it was supposed to be the hybrid. And I was like, we were coming off the Wii U, and I was kind of like, okay, let's just see what Nintendo's got up their sleeve. And I remember watching that initial trailer and thinking, like, this is like what they should have been doing the entire time. But you could tell that just the technology was not ready for it. They always have all the cringy people, like, smiling and, laughing and playing on the rooftops and the parties and stuff. And, it looked all cheesy, and I kind of was just, we'll see, I was very curious about it because I've always wanted a hybrid console. So I remember going to Best Buy the day that pre-orders went live, and you could just go in the store and do it, and nobody was anticipating this thing. I remember I just walked right in, walked right up, pre-ordered the console, and walked out. It was super, super simple. I remember when I brought it home, I unboxed it, and the only game that I got with it was Breath of the Wild because I wasn't interested in 1-2 Switch or Bomberman R or any of that stuff. So literally my only game that I got was Breath of the Wild. And I'm not a Zelda guy, but I've played probably every Zelda they've ever made besides the weird 3DO ones. And it was my only game for the Switch. So I put about 20 hours into it. I just couldn't get into it. I didn't like the shrines. I don't like the puzzles. I didn't like the breaking weapons. I just, I was not really a fan. And combine that with the Joy-Cons, they were very small for my hands. They didn't feel great with the little sticks, and I don't know. I actually started to have a little bit of buyer's remorse from buying the original. I remember the first time that I was playing a game handheld, and then I stuck it in the dock, and after like a second or two, it popped up on the screen. That was really cool. I was like, all right, Nintendo's got something here. It felt like magic. It really did. I'm like, I didn't plug anything in. To be honest, it still kind of feels like magic. But then something interesting started happening. I remember everybody was like, the Switch doesn't have any games, doesn't have any games. Then people's focus started to go from, the big box $60 games to the indies. And I remember like Fast RMX was on there and Blaster Master Zero. So, to kind of justify my purchase, I started going on to the eShop and buying digital games, which was totally new for me. I didn't do much of any of that before. And that, I've been Mr. Physical for forever. And doing that was very, very strange for me. So the indie games started filling in the gaps whenever we were waiting for new games from Nintendo or any of the big publishers. And this kind of kept going, and I was still kind of like lukewarm on the Switch, and I was kind of still playing like PS4 mostly at the time. But then I started to realize the incredible versatility of the Nintendo Switch. I would go out, with my kids. I'd have my Switch with me, and if my wife and my kids were like trying on clothes in a store, I would just pull it out and start playing. And I was like, wow, these really are like console quality games on the go. Like that was really, really magical to me. I would take my kids out to breakfast at like McDonald's or something, and I'd be playing a game, and I would ask the kids, "Do you want to play?" And I would put it in tabletop mode. We took the Joy-Cons off, and being able to have two controllers on the go, playing in tabletop mode with me and my kids, like it was starting to click for me. Around 2018, 2019, I started going to the gym a lot, and I lost a lot of weight. And part of the reason for that was I would bring my Switch to the gym. And what I would do is I would take the Joy Cons off, put the tablet on the little ledge of the treadmill, and I would play with the Joy-Con separate as I was on the treadmill. I remember I played Moonlighter and Dead Cells like that for hours. So it was starting to all come together. I'm like, I'm playing like console quality games while I'm on the treadmill. Like the versatility aspect was really starting to click for me. It was almost like I was starting to become those cringy people on the rooftop parties. Like I was literally like that guy, like taking it off and smiling and playing and putting it on the TV, smiling, taking it off, smiling, putting it on the table, putting it on the treadmill. Like I was becoming those people in the Nintendo commercials. Then all the big ports started coming. I remember like when Doom 2016 came to the Switch, I was like, "There's no way, it's not going to work. There's no way this fast-paced first-person shooter is going to work on this little tablet screen." Skyrim, Wolfenstein, like big games were coming to this thing. So no longer was I having to depend on just the indies. It was starting to all come together, and it was just amazing. I know they had port studios like Panic Button that were figuring it out. Like they were getting these amazing, huge, quick games on the Switch. Did they look as good as their big console, counterparts like the Xbox and the PS4? No, it didn't look as good, but it played the exact same. Like it might be a little bit foggy, the textures might not be as crisp, but like that was a concession I was totally willing to make because I could play it in all these versatile settings wherever I was at any time. So then I started ignoring my other consoles. Like I was just like, well, I can't play them on the go. Like why would I even bother? Like if I'm starting a game here on the PS4 and I'm out, I can't continue it. Like what am I going to do? So the portability started to become a huge thing for me. I was ignoring the other consoles, and it was a necessity to have some kind of portable option. I'm on the go all the time. I'm always out. To have some way to pick up my games that I'm working on, and make some progress, that's really big. And I know a lot of the consoles had like a remote play option. I know Xbox I could play on my phone. I have a Retroid that I could play on. And the PS Portal, I tried that when it came out to kind of bring that portable option to the other consoles. They just don't work. And the reason why they don't work for me is because you have to have a strong internet connection. Like if I'm in a room where there's no Wi-Fi, you can't play. I mean that's just all it is. If I'm in a hotel with bad internet, if I'm in a room where there's no signal, like it's not going to work. Your Switch, you pull it out, you press power, it works. So over the years, I was putting more and more focus into the Switch just because of its versatility and portability options. So I started buying more and more games for the Switch. And I would just wait if a game came out to like PlayStation or Xbox. I would just wait. So let's see if there's a if there's a Switch version coming, because I don't care if it has a lower frame rate or worse graphics or looks a little bit foggy when I play. I can play them anywhere. So my Switch filled up very, very quickly. So I had to keep buying more and more SD cards because I was like, I'm not a digital gamer. I'm not going to fill this up. So I'd get like a 128, filled it up, 256, filled it up, 512, filled it up. I was like, this is getting ridiculous. Because whenever I would get like Amazon credit or something, I would just get eShop cards. Because it was like really fun for me to browse the eShop, buy some cheap indie games that were like $3-4, gamble on it, and if you don't love it, it was only $3-4. Like who cares? Like I was becoming way more entrenched in the entire digital gaming scene. Like I had a ton of physical games, but going and just like taking a chance on like a $3 or $4 game became really fun for me. Lots of indie games from Steam would be coming over. all kinds of games that would offer something new. A lot of these indie games, they can take chances because they don't have the inflated budgets of all these AAA games that come out. So the indie scene really started becoming like my favorite part of the Switch. Like all these little cheap indie games that offered nice, unique experiences really became what I was coming to the console for. So I ended up just saying, forget it. So I went and bought a 1.5 terabyte card, threw it in my Switch. I'm like, I'll never fill this up. Now I'm good. It's full. And I have a ton of games that I don't have downloaded because I don't have room for it. So it's insane. But it's so cool because when you look at my Switch list, I can totally play like any of these games at any time. Like they're all downloaded on it. It's great. So like when I carry my Switch around with me, I feel like I'm almost carrying an entire game collection. It's insane. So fast forward to now, I was trying to think of a YouTube channel to make. Like, what am I super passionate about as far as gaming goes? Like, I love all kinds of gaming, but like the Switch has really changed my life and changed the way that I play games. Like, if you told me, before the Switch that I would have this many like digital games downloaded and I'd be playing all these bite-sized indie games, I would have called you a liar. I would have said there was no way. But it's totally changed the way that I game. And I'm really excited for the Switch 2 this week. I'll be getting it a little bit late. That's okay. I've waited this long. I can wait a couple more days. And can't wait to see what the future holds for this new little console. So thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me down below, how did you guys feel when the Switch first came out? Did you get it on launch? Did you wait? Did you have buyer's remorse like me? Maybe you didn't like the Switch. Maybe you don't like how things run at a lower frame rate or have smeary graphics. Let me know how you guys feel. Enjoy your Switch 2, those of you that are getting it this week. I'll be making videos when I come back. Thank you to all the subscribers. Much more videos on the way. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye bye.
I have a Switch addiction.